What's up, guys? Today we're playing Gear.Club. It's actually out now. You can pick it up. It's $49.99. And Gear.Club is interesting because it kind of fills the need of a simulation racing game on the Nintendo Switch. It's something a lot of people have been wanting, they've been looking for. Maybe Mario Kart doesn't quite fit the bill for you for a straight-up racing game because maybe you want real cars, maybe you want to customize those cars, maybe you want to do something along the lines of like a Need for Speed, for example, or Gran Turismo, or even a Forza. You want to buy cars, you want to upgrade them, you want to race around tracks, or you want to race through cities and stuff. That's kind of what Gear.Club Unlimited is looking to do. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, and you're correct technically. Gear.Club is a game on mobile phones, and what this is kind of it's kind of them taking that and then turning it into a straight up a console version, I guess. In this case, for the Switch, there are no microtransactions. We're gonna say that now. There's no microtransactions at all. I know some people were kind of concerned about that. I think the price tag is them basically saying, listen, this is just a straight up game you could play. They've made it so it's not as much of a grind to get to certain achievements as it was from what I've seen with the mobile game. Now, I've played a little bit and we're going to do some racing. Now, when I get into the racing part, I'm going to make the gameplay full screen for you guys with me not in the picture, and that way you can see some of how it sounds, any music that's included, and of course how it looks. And then I'll pop back in from time to time. So I just want to do this as a I'll talk to you guys about some of the stuff. I'm going to show you off the garage system because you actually do some interesting Sims-like stuff with your garage and stuff. But I figure first, how about we just jump into let's just jump into a race, and you can see how this all goes down. So we're going to get into Pilgrim's Path, and you see stars that you earn at the top left there. I have 48 stars currently, and you will gain stars as you win different races, and depending on the number of stars you have, you unlock different races and different parts of the map. Now, the map is pretty large, which I'll show you guys when we go through this. So let's jump into the race here. You're going to notice load times. There is a lot of loading in this game. Load times pop up pretty much constantly. Whenever you're doing stuff, moving from maps to different parts of the world. Like you go into your garage, there's loading. You go into a race, there's loading. You exit a race, there's loading. So get ready for that. They're not obscenely long, but they're longer than I think they should be. As you can kind of see here, it's a little while, but it's something you pretty much have to get over, I guess, if you want a simulation racing game on the Switch here. So this is where I'm going to step out for a second and let you guys kind of take a look around this car that I have here. Now, I think the cars themselves look good. There is definite aliasing issues around the edges, and the textures are probably lower resolution. I feel like this is probably taken almost directly from the mobile game, and they've cleaned it up some. But I do think if another developer attempts this down the road at some point, or maybe they take another shot at it, I think they can do better with some of the visuals. However, they are manageable, and the game is still playable completely. I'm not saying they're like terrible. I just think they can do better next time, or if another company steps in and does this. I don't think this is like the Switch's the limit of its abilities or anything. So let's get past the cinematic. I'm also gonna hit you with something else. This game appears to be 30 frames per second with frame drops, so I'm gonna hit you with that right away. But here we go. We're gonna drive through here, and we are racing against what I believe are like they're ghost drivers, I think is what we used to call them back in the day in some of the older Need for Speeds and Forzas and stuff. But they do have the racing kind of line that I know I've seen that a lot in Forza. And that just tells you how fast you're going in accordance to what kind of turn you're coming up on. So if it's like red, you gotta slow down, or if it's like orange, yeah, you're gonna be cutting it close. Green pretty much means you're good to go. You can actually accelerate because the turn is not sharp enough to really mess you up. They do have a rewind button, which I will use soon. I try not to use it because it feels like cheating, but hey, you know, it's it fixes one problem I've always had with racing games, and that's if you're doing really well and you're in a long race, maybe it's like 8 laps or something crazy, and then you crash at the end and they beat you because of that one thing you mess up on. This race wasn't very long, by the way. That rewind button will fix that. It basically rewinds and then it drops you back in, counts down, 3, 2, 1, go. So I will do that in the next race so you can see how that functions, how that operates. You get experience. It levels your main account up there. I'm level 8. You get money. And you can buy cars, you can you upgrade, which I will show you, your garage, which I thought was kind of a cool little feature, which I'll show you guys in a minute. We're going to do this race. I will crash, and then I will use the rewind button so you can see how that operates. But you can see, again, loading between each race. Some people that might bother, some people might not care. So here we go. To get to that cinematic, you just press A to skip it every time. This is the 370Z I'm driving, if you haven't figured that out, by the way. So let's speed up here, and I'll crash into something. So let's go find something I can crash into when I get up to speed a little bit here. I'll just crash into, I'll just boom, boom, and then I'll just hit rewind. So you see how we have the rewind here? We'll hit ZL, we'll rewind all the way back to here, and then you'll see 3, 2, 1, go, and it just kind of stops you there. So it's nice because if, yeah, sure, if like you're in this very long race, because it's very aggravating when it happens. If you've played racing games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You crash, and then the people you're racing, computers, you know, beat you. Now you may be wondering, well, how does that fare in multiplayer? Well, there's no real multiplayer outside of split screen, so, and then you turn it off. But there's no online multiplayer, and that might be a bit of a deal breaker for some. You don't go online, you don't race people. Again, it's a little odd because this was like a mobile game that was always online, obviously, with their networking, but it's very interesting they opted to not do online. That tells me that this was kind of a, I don't want to say a rushed game, but it definitely wasn't a game that was in development for a long, long time, from what I've seen, but it's serviceable if you want a simulation racing experience where you build up your cars, because you guys will see soon what happens when we go into the garage and how much you can actually put in your car, because it's quite a bit. You can put a lot into your car. So we're going to race up here, going to hit the finish line, and then we are going to jump over to the map, and I'm going to show you guys how the garage system and everything works. So we're back on the map now. They do have rally races, by the way, which is kind of cool too. But we're on the map now. I'm going to zoom out, and you guys can see, let me back out from there. This is the map. From what I can tell, it's pretty large. As you can see, there's quite a bit to do in this game, which is kind of neat. It's not a quick game. It's not something you're going to finish very fast. It is a long, long game, and there's a lot to do in it. So let me zoom in here, and we will go to the performance shop, which is where you can also just hit X, but which is where you can soup up your cars. I have another car, but that's in a different class than what I just raced, because I bought a car that I would fix up in the next, I think it's the A2 classes. So when this loads up, we'll actually drop in here, and this is my garage, my whole system here that I have. And what's interesting about this is you actually build up, seriously, you like manage an entire garage, just kind of interesting. So here is where our performance is, where you drop. You actually have to pick up your cars, by the way. It's kind of interesting. You pick up, like, here's the 370Z. I picked it up. Now I have to actually take it. Like, here's tires. Here's cosmetics. Here's mechanical workshop, which is what a lot of people probably care about because you want to obviously go fast, try to win races. And here's like an engine level 3, and then you kind of go from there. This will actually raise my horsepower and lower my 0 to 60 time. I'm not actually going to install that because I have another car over here that I'd rather do that too. So we pick this guy up. We'll drop him right there. That's fine. And you can actually add stuff. So if we go to, let me go over here to this guy. And you can do things like upgrade. Like I want to upgrade my tires workshop. So you upgrade that, and then you can get better tires. And it'll also work for your you get experience with that, higher graded cars. So it almost is like, it is like an RPG kind of with cars. It's kind of cool. So we hit Y, and we can actually build it up from here. I got a paint workshop that I want to install, a body workshop, a wind tunnel, which is neat. That's unlocked at level 11. And that way you can check to see how, I guess, how aerodynamic your car is. And let's grab a paint workshop, and we got to figure out where we're going to drop this sucker. Let's drop it right over here. You can buy more space, by the way. So I'm actually going to drop it right over there. There we go. Drop it right there, and that'll fill up. I've wondered, because I haven't played the game in mobile yet, if when you would have dropped these in mobile, someone let me know, if these are one of the things you would wait for. Like, does it take like a day to build that paint workshop or something? You know what I mean? I'm curious if that's how it was, guys. You'll have to let me know. Hit Y, though. I can now hit Y again. Oh, no, hit Y. It's R and L. And you can see I can actually add an indoor bicycle and seats and vending machines. That's funny. So we have an expansion, so I can add more space. So I want to maybe make this a little larger. We'll drop that down. There you go. So you can build it out, and you have a good bit of space here to build out your area on. But basically this way now we can take this car, that's my, I think my next class up, A2. We'll drop it in here. Let's go over to tires, because they were telling me I need to put better tires on this car because it's going too fast now. Too fast. Tire level 2, and you basically just build up everything. I want to put better brakes on it because I was doing a lot of turns earlier. I'll put better brakes on it. And then you bring it over to cosmetics. You can do a lot of stuff there as well. So here we go, cosmetics. And I did a bad job on the other one because I was just throwing anything I could on it. So yeah, rims. Oh, manufacturer stock part. Oh no, that's right. I have to upgrade it. That's why. That's why I can't work on that one. So you'll figure all this stuff out there. This will now let me do stuff to the unlocks level 9. Okay, that's why I couldn't do anything with that, because it's I have to upgrade it for A2. But I should be able to mess around with this guy. Yes, there we go. Okay, so this is the 370Z. I can do a bunch of stuff to it. Let's paint it, I guess. There's black. So I can just blue, red. Make it blue. It's close enough to purple, I guess. And you paint, sure, red, why not? And then the rims, there you go. So you basically do all this stuff. You play around with your, I assume that maybe that takes a while too, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how different this is from, say, like the mobile version of the game. But it seems like there's no real microtransactions, no waiting or anything. So far, overall, I mean, there's not a lot out there for simulation racing, right? This seems to be it. And I have to say, if you want something that's going to take a while to beat, has actual cars in it, which, by the way, I'll run you over. There you go. So you get a bunch of achievements. You get more money from that. By the way, let me run you guys over to a dealership so you can see some of the cars that they have here. Here's a, or this wants to move. Here we go. Here's a Nissan car dealership here, for example, category A1. So they just tier the different cars. So you have much better cars. You get along supercars even as you get closer to the top. So here, this is what I started with. I could either pick 370Z or I could pick the Camaro. And then they had a few others back here. Actually, these were added. I don't think I had these to pick from last time. 370. Yeah, I didn't have this one to pick from because I didn't have that much money to spend. I had like 35,000 to spend. But I can buy like these ones now. Camaro Elite 3C. The only thing I've noticed is they don't have years on any of the cars. I think that's on purpose. I don't think they want them to be yeared, mostly because when it's in the mobile game, of course, they're always updating it. There's no new game that comes out. But so remember that. There's no actual years. They just do models. However, you buy new cars, you play around with them. It feels good. It is 30 frames with some frame dropping, but some people might not mind. But overall, Gear.Club Unlimited, not bad. Not bad at all if you want that simulation racing experience. I'm pleasantly surprised with it so far. Could there be more to it? Absolutely. They could have online multiplayer. I think the visuals could be better. So know that getting into it. But I will jump you guys over now to handheld mode, give you some footage there to end things. Guys, thanks for joining me for Gear.Club Unlimited. It's out now. Gear.Club Unlimited. It's out now. $49.99 on the Switch eShop, and there should be physical copies of it as well out in the wild. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.